Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today I wanted to share with you a different effect that can be achieved with any of the trellis dies that you have in your collection. So this unusual effect on this card is created just simply cutting this in different colours. So let me show you how I did it. Now you can get this look with any of these open dies that you have, whether they're in sets or they're just trellis works. And all I've done is cut this out of some plain cards, just some ordinary coloured card, and I've cut it in different colours. Now this is not the same as this one, it's the same effect but it's a different pattern. So if you line them up, you'll have one on top of the other. Let me try and bring it a little bit closer. But if you offset them, you can create a completely different look for your cards. Depending on which colour you have on the top, you will get a different look to add to your designs, depending on where and how far you move it across. And this is another colour scheme. So there they are lined up, and this is it now, just move slightly to give another look to the card. So I've cut this now, I've cut it 5 times, but I don't have to use them all, I just need to use just a few of them. So let's pick the colours that we want, and we'll have this burgundy one, we'll have the bright orange one, and we'll have the cream one. Now, as I said to you before, if you line them up, they will look just one on top of the other. They'll just look the same. But if you move them down slightly, you will have the burgundy layer just showing underneath. And then if you move this one down slightly, you'll have the 3 layers showing on your card. And that will give you a different look depending on which way round you add your colours. So let's have the cream at the bottom. We'll have this one on the top, and then we'll have this one along there. So that now is just giving a layered look to each of your patterns, and will give you this kind of look on your card. So I'm going to glue these together. Now probably the best way to do these is to use a spray adhesive, and that way you know it will stick all over the pattern. So I've decided to go with the cream, the orange and the teal, and I've sprayed the back of these 2 panels to make them stick to my card. I have them both the same way up, and that is with the pattern married up. Now if I move it down just a little bit and make sure it's the same all the way down the card, that gives me a different look on my cards. And now I can add this one in, and I can do exactly the same with this. Just move it down slightly and make sure it's the same all over the card, and stick that down. Now once you've got that done, you can trim that off to fit your cards. Now another way that you can use these is, because the shell pattern goes up, if you cut 2 the same and turn one round completely, you'll have them going in different directions. And then if you layer them up, let's get a piece of white card, and then if you layer them up and offset them, you will have another look for your cards. So we'll do that one as well. So there we have the different looks to our backgrounds, and we're going to use some dies to cut these out. Now allow your glue to set a little bit before you start to die cut, and it won't be as sticky then, it will be nice and flat. So let's decide what dies we want to use on this pattern. Now for one of my patterns I want a heart-shaped frame, and so I've taped my 2 dies together, and these are from the heart-shaped box collection, and I'm going to cut these several times so that I can stack them all together. So I've cut 3 frames from one piece of card, and by keeping the frames together I just need to move them along the card, but at least I know that all my frames now are the same size. So I'm going to glue those all together, and I'm going to keep these for another project. Now for each of the shapes I've used my box dies, any one that you have. Any die that will nest will create frames for you. So you need 2 to create the frames. Add them to your card, and once you've done that, all you're going to do is just trim around the edge. So we'll add this to this one. Give it a second or 2 just to set up. And then with these I've done exactly the same. I've just trimmed around the edges of them to create my shape. So you need to just tilt your scissors so they go underneath the actual frame. And just very neatly cut around the edges. And that's not affecting your frame, it's keeping your card nice and tidy, and it's giving you a lovely shape to add to your card base. So there we are, there's our different shapes, and now we can go ahead and turn these into some cards. Now all the pieces that you've got left, keep, because you can always use these on another project. Now for each of the shapes I've created a base card. So this is just a square one, and I've cut mats to fit on it, and this has been through an embossing folder, and I've backed that onto some pink card. This one has got 2 layers of peachy orange, and they're going to sit on there, and that will fit on the front. And this one, again, I've embossed this layer, but I've just got some black and white layers to sit on this card, and that's going to take the oval. So once we've added these in place, we can then start to decorate the card. Now for the heart one, I've created a panel card, and if you want a more detailed explanation of how to create this card, I'll add the link in the description box below. So there are all the cards created in the video. The background is the star of the show, but I've decorated these up with flowers and glitter and different sentiments. This is one I created earlier, but they are very easy to make, and the background gives a really pretty effect with the trellis. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one. And why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and you'll always be notified when I add a new video. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.